So you want to learn to bow hunt. How do you start? Well, you came to the right place. Today we're going to talk about all the tools and the things that you need to get started bow hunting. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Boover Crew. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to check out the tools and products that I talk about in today's video, there'll be links in the description. You can get them there and get started bow hunting right away. So the question how to start bow hunting is pretty much like any other how-to question. There's always lots of unknowns and variables, and normally there's a lot of stuff that you need. Well, I made a kind of short list of things that you need, as well as a short gear list of some of the basic tools that you need and that you should probably have when you're going out into the woods on your first bow hunt. First thing you should actually probably do is get a bow of some sort. You could get a high-dollar bow, you could get a low-dollar bow. If you want to check out a video on a high-end bow and a low-end bow, I made a video right up here. Click the link right there. There are so many accessories out there for bows that you could spend thousands of dollars, honestly. But in today's archery world, you could get a bow setup to hunt a deer for $200, or you could end up spending $2,000 or more on a bow setup. Along with buying a bow, you should probably build an arrow setup. And building an arrow setup is something that's actually kind of daunting in a way, because there's so many arguments between a heavy arrow setup or a light arrow setup, a fixed blade broadhead, or a mechanical broadhead, and you never really know what to choose. Do a little research, find out what arrow setup is best for your situation. For example, if you're learning how to deer hunt, you want to bow hunt deer, you know, an arrow that's between 400 and even like 600 or 700 grains will get the job done. My arrow setup this year was like 370 grains, which is definitely on the lighter end, and I shot a mechanical broadhead. If you want to check out the stuff I use for my arrow setup, there'll be links in the description. And if you want to check out a video on fixed blade versus mechanical, click the video card up here. I made a video about that as well. Now, something that you do need to pay attention to is your license. You do need a license to go hunting. I don't know how many states require that you actually buy an archery license, so make sure to check the laws and regulations of your state to figure out what you need license-wise. Here in Pennsylvania, to hunt any animal, I have to get the standard hunting license. Then if you want to add stuff on, you can add hundreds of dollars worth of stuff on. This year I added stuff like bear, fur bearer, a migratory bird license, and in this case, an archery license. So again, make sure you check what the laws and regulations of your state are, because you don't want to end up with a hefty fine. Now, the last thing is I made a list of basic gear that you should have when going out into the woods. You don't need all this stuff. You could definitely have more. I have much more than this, and that's just with experience over the years. I've found what I need and what I don't need, and what makes my hunt more enjoyable, what makes it more comfortable in a way. The basic list includes a backpack. You should probably have some sort of backpack. You could spend $200 to $300 on like a Badlands backpack or something, or you could spend $75 on the backpack that I have, which is an Alps Outdoor Pursuit Pack. So just have something that you can carry stuff around. Could even be a knapsack or like a fanny pack or something like that. Next is a rangefinder. I feel like this is something that is really underrated. And yes, rangefinders can be a little costly, but there are very affordable ones out there for like $100, like the Halo rangefinders. They're very good. My rangefinder is a 6-hour Kylo. Rangefinders are definitely something that you want when deer hunting, especially in archery, because archery is really dependent on range and distance. The next thing you're gonna need is a release. When shooting a compound bow, in order to be accurate, you should probably have a release. I know there's some people out there that actually shoot compound bows and hunt with them without releases. I've seen videos of it done, but I wouldn't recommend it, especially because modern bows are very high poundage, and most of the time you're standing there holding it at full draw for some amount of time. So having a release can make that a lot easier. Again, it makes pulling the bow back much easier, and it makes you much more accurate. There's a lot of releases out there as well. There are wrist strap releases with like a little tube thing that comes out and you shoot like that. There's one like this right here, which is my main release that I shoot. This is a handheld release with a thumb trigger that opens up like that. I like this release because it's a lot easier to pull back. If you want to see a versus video on a handheld release versus a wrist strap release, click the card up here, go watch that video. Now I have 3 more things, and these I think are pretty important. A knife. You need a knife for gutting your deer. Now, I also recommend carrying a pen, because in some states, when you're filling out your tag, when you shoot an animal, you write down on the tag the stuff. In other places, the tags are like paper and you have to cut notches in them. Depends what state you're in, but I still recommend carrying a pen, because you never know when you might need a pen or a marker or something. Then the final thing is a headlamp. Highly recommend a headlamp, especially if you're walking in the morning, walking out in the evening, tracking a deer, or in some cases, like if you're out west and you're miles out, it's nice to have a headlamp. They're just useful, and in case it gets dark, you never know when you might be put in an unpredictable situation. So those are the basics on how to start bow hunting. Like I said, if you want to check out the gear that we talked about in today's video, go check it out right now. You can buy it right from Amazon and get started bow hunting right away. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. And if you found value in today's video, give it a like. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.